The idea of reselling or buying something for cheap and selling it again for a profit has been around for a very long time. Nowadays, in the 21st century, you see people talking on social media every single day about reselling items such as iPhones, video games, books, or even entire return pallets from Amazon. For the most part, people who are doing this consistently are making thousands of dollars per month, and some people are even doing reselling as their full-time job. So in this video, I am going to try selling a bunch of random items around my house, or items I got for super cheap from Craigslist, to see how much money I can make in 24 hours. Getting right into it, I want to let you guys know that to resell all of the items you see in front of me right here, I am going to be using this app by the name of Mercari. If you guys don't know what Mercari is, it's basically an app very similar to eBay or Amazon, except it's much easier to use on a mobile device, and the seller's fees are also lower at only 10%, meaning you get to keep more of the money you make. And who doesn't want that? Mercari is actually the sponsor of today's video, which is super awesome, so please be sure to download them using the link down below after this video ends, and also be sure to follow along with all of the steps I go through throughout this video to learn how to list items on Mercari and make some extra cash at the same time. So guys, with that all being said, let's get into some of the products I am planning on selling. Getting right into it, the first group of items I am going to be selling on Mercari include a bunch of accessories for the Nintendo Switch. I ended up buying each of these items for a YouTube video I had planned, but it ended up falling through, so I'm going to be selling them on Mercari today to hopefully at least get some money out of them. I'm pretty sure they are going to sell pretty fast because right now the Nintendo Switch is a trending product, and obviously if you're buying a Nintendo Switch, you're gonna want some of the accessories I have in front of me. The next couple of items I am going to be selling online in this video are 3 Wii games that literally no one in my house uses. I'm not sure how much money I could get for these things. I don't think too much since they're from like 2005 or 2006 and not a lot of people play Wii anymore. But nonetheless, some money is better than no money at all, so I'm gonna be selling them today and hopefully I can make some money with them. The third group of items I am going to be selling in this video include some Apple products I bought from this guy on Craigslist. The Apple products include an iPhone 5C, an iPhone 4, and finally an iPod Touch first generation. I bought all 3 of the devices you see in my hand right here for only $20 from this guy on Craigslist. The reason I got them for so cheap is because the products are somewhat older, but they are in pretty good condition. And the guy also wanted to sell them to me right away because apparently he really needed the cash and he wasn't about to put some extra effort into selling them to get a higher price. Now the fourth and final group of items I am going to be selling for this challenge video include a charging pad for a phone, a speaker, and finally an electronic stand by the Go Donut brand. I'm pretty sure these products aren't worth a whole lot of money, but hey, I have absolutely no use for them and I might as well list them on Mercari, and if anyone happens to buy them, I just pocketed some extra cash. So guys, now that I've introduced all of the products I am going to be selling for this challenge, it is time to start the selling process by taking pictures of each item, setting the prices, writing product descriptions, and finally getting the products listed so I can start making some cash. So with that being said, let's get into the selling process. Step 1 of selling each of the items for this challenge video is to take quality photos of every single one. And the way that I am going to be doing this is I am going to lay out a white piece of construction paper and use it as the background as I take pictures for every single product. This will give each item a very clean and professional looking background. On top of that way of taking pictures, I am also going to take pictures of each product that symbolizes its condition. So for example, for this product right here that's sealed in the box, I'm going to take photos of it that symbolizes that it is in fact sealed and in the box. Now, as for the other products I am selling for this challenge that are used, such as this iPod Touch first generation, I am going to take pictures of it that show any scratches or dents it has on the display. And this will prevent any returns I could potentially get from buyers. After taking photos of each item you are trying to sell, it is time to move on to the fun part of the selling process, which is where you set the prices for every single item. The way I like to do this is I like to look up every single item individually on Mercari, go to sold listings, and then price my items similar to what the sold listings are going for. This way you know that your product has already sold for that price, meaning you will definitely be able to get that price for your item. I just looked up the prices for all of the Apple products I am about to sell for this challenge, and it turns out that this iPod Touch right here is going for an average price of around $20. Now, as for this iPhone 4 right here, it sold many months ago for 38 bones, which definitely surprised me. And finally, for this iPhone C I am about to sell, it's going for an average price of around $45 on Mercari, which definitely isn't bad, especially after judging I only paid $20 for all three of these devices. So guys, with that all being said, it is now time to price the rest of these items right here, and then move on to step 3 of this item selling challenge. The last step of this item selling process, before we get each of these items listed and wait for the money to just pour in, is to write product descriptions for every single one of the items right here. Some important things to mention in a product description includes the item's color, how it works, what condition it's in, and in the case of these Apple products right here, it's important to mention how many gigabytes of storage the device has, and also be sure to mention that all of the information has been cleared on the device by the previous owner. The entire process of writing product descriptions shouldn't take more than 15 to 30 minutes to complete, but keep in mind, once we finish writing product descriptions for every single item, the listings will officially go live and it will be time for sales to start coming in like it's nothing. As you guys can see, it is currently 10:29 p.m. and as of right now, 3 items on Mercari have already sold. One for $14, one for $19, and one for $15, which is just super exciting. The listings have only been live for about 5 hours at this point, so that means we still have 19 hours left in this 24-hour challenge to make even more money selling stuff online. So guys, with that being said, I am super excited to see how this challenge turns out, and I will keep you guys updated tomorrow.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, it is now day 2 of this reselling challenge, and I have officially sold 5 items on Mercari in a 24-hour period, and now it is time to package each item, ship them out, and then at the end of this video, I am going to tell you how much money I get to keep off of the $82 in revenue I earned selling each of the 5 items online. And boom, over the next 30 minutes, I went hard packaging each of the 5 items I had just sold on Mercari. I prepaid for each of the labels, and finally, I drove the old Corolla mobile all the way from my house to the post office to secure the profit on each of the packages. And of course, during that time, I was wearing the proper pandemic protection. Alright guys, so I have officially shipped all 5 of the items I ended up selling on Mercari in the last 24 hours of this challenge, and now it is time to speed racer myself back home, and I am going to let you know how much profit I ended up making on my $82 in revenue.
A few moments later.
After 24 hours of listing both random items around the house and products I got for cheap from Craigslist, I made a total of $82 in revenue, selling products that include an iPod Touch first generation, an iPhone 4, an iPhone 5C, a Joy-Con charging dock for the Nintendo Switch, and finally a charging pad for an electronics device. Unfortunately, however, I don't get to keep all of the $82 in revenue I generated, as I had to spend $16.20 on shipping labels for each of the products I sold, and I also had to pay a 10% Mercari fee of $8.20. So after all of those costs I just mentioned, I made a profit of $57.60 selling random items around my house on Mercari. Of course, that doesn't count any sort of product costs, but almost all of the products I sold throughout this video are products that were just laying around the house, and it's kind of hard to calculate the product costs on products I wasn't even planning on reselling. Overall, selling some random items around your house on Mercari or items you got for cheap from Craigslist can be a great way for you to make some extra money to start that business you've always wanted, maybe even similar to what I do, which is drop shipping or running an Instagram theme page. With that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to drop a like if you did. And with that all being said, peace out.